Welcome to Thrive Apprentice. In this video, we'll do a quick overview of the plugin so that you know where everything is and you can start building your online courses right away. So let's start with an example of what you can build. I've got a demo website here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the courses page. So here you can see all of the available courses. Let's say that I have paid for this course and I want to access it now. Here is the course overview page. So we've got a quick introductory video. We have a little bit about the course. Down here we have an outline of the course. Let's go ahead and click this button to start the course. Now we'll need to log in to actually access the course. All right, and here we are on the very first lesson. So in Thrive Apprentice, you can create video lessons, audio lessons, and text lessons. This lesson is a video lesson, so there is a video at the top of the page. But you can also add text, you can add audio, you can also add images and more to provide your students with more information. Now, if we keep scrolling down, you'll see that there is a section for resources. So this is for things like downloadable PDFs and links. This is a great place to put worksheets, workbooks, and other tools to help your students. Moving on to the next lesson. This is an example of a text lesson, but of course you can also add video, audio, and more. Let's go to the very next one. And this is an example of an audio lesson. Again, you can add more supporting information. Now, to help organize the lessons in your course, you can divide your course into modules. So let's use the sidebar here to view the module page. And here we have a brief summary of the module as well as links to the lessons in this module. So what's nice about Thrive Apprentice is that everything we've looked at so far is completely customizable. The fonts, the colors, the backgrounds, the spacing, so you can really style your online courses to match your brand. All right, let's dive in to Thrive Apprentice. So I'm logged into WordPress right now. I've already installed Thrive Product Manager, and I will simply check the box to install Thrive Apprentice, and then I'll click Install Selected Products. Okay, so Thrive Apprentice was installed just fine. It says ready to use. Let's go ahead and go to the Thrive Themes dashboard. And then we'll go to the Apprentice dashboard. The first time you open Thrive Apprentice, you'll be greeted with a welcome message. So let's scroll down and just click Get Started. And then you'll need to set your course listing page. This is where your audience can view listings of all the courses you offer. So I'll go ahead and name my page Courses. Then I'll click Add Page. And then I'll click Continue. Next, you'll need to name the design for your online school. I'll go ahead and name mine Apprentice, and then I'll click Create New Design. Then you'll be brought to the School Wizard. With this wizard, you'll be able to choose the design for the pages related to your online courses. If you're not a designer, but you want your courses to look professional, we have done all of the heavy lifting for you. Now, don't worry if the layouts that you see here aren't exactly what you want. Just choose the layout that's closest to what you have in mind, because later on you will have the opportunity to make further customizations. So let's click Get Started. First, you'll need to specify the logo for your school. So let's click on this logo. Now, if you need to upload a logo, you can easily do that. I've already got some uploaded, so I will simply select it and then click Use this image. And then I'll click Choose and Continue. Next, you'll need to select the main color for your school. To select the color, simply click on the swatch and use the color picker to select a new color. Now, if you would like to share your brand color with Thrive Theme Builder, you can turn that on. However, when you do that, it will actually pull in the color that you specified in Thrive Theme Builder. After this toggle is turned on, any changes you make to this swatch will affect both Thrive Theme Builder and Thrive Apprentice. And by the way, you do not need to use Thrive Theme Builder in order to use Thrive Apprentice, because Thrive Apprentice works with any WordPress theme. But I do encourage you to give Thrive Theme Builder a try. Next, let's take a look at the header options. You can use the arrow keys to cycle through all of the headers, or you can use the drop down at the top of the page to look at all of the options. I'll choose something simple. And then we'll need to select a footer. I'll go ahead and choose this one. And next we'll need to choose a layout for the school home page. So if you recall, when we first opened Thrive Apprentice, we had to specify a course page. Now we're going to be choosing the layout for that page. So I'll go to the drop down and let's look at the options. I'll choose this one. Next, the course overview page. So this is what people will see when they click on a course on the courses page. It provides a snapshot of information so that your audience knows what to expect from the course. And now the menu. You can create menus just for your Thrive Apprentice school that are different from the menus that you use on your main website. I've already put together a demo menu in WordPress just for my online school, so I will select it now. Next up, the module overview page. So in Thrive Apprentice, you can divide your course into modules, chapters, and lessons. This makes it a little easier to navigate your course, particularly if it's very long. So let's take a look at the layouts. I'll choose this one. And now the navigation sidebar. Let's take a look at the layouts. I'll choose this one. And as I mentioned earlier, there are 3 different types of lessons you can have in Thrive Apprentice: text lessons, video lessons, and audio lessons. Now we'll need to choose the template for the text lessons. You have several options to choose from. I'll choose this one. Next, let's choose the layout for video lesson. And finally, we'll need to choose the layout for our audio lessons. And we are done. In only a few minutes, we chose the templates for our entire online school. Next, let's take a look at some of the settings in Thrive Apprentice. So I'm here in the Settings tab, and then let's go to Labels and Translations. Now, as you grow your business, you may find that you want to use courses in different ways. So you might have some premium courses, you might use some courses as lead magnets, and you might want to have some courses that are 100% free for everyone. It'll be helpful to label your courses so that your audience knows which courses they should have access to and which ones they shouldn't. For example, here is how a label would be used. So if you need to add labels, you can easily do so. Just click the Add Label button. And then you can easily change the label color by clicking on the color swatch. Now, if you will be offering your course in a different language, then you can click through these tabs here and enter in the translations for the various buttons and labels. Next, let's take a look at the Login and Access Restriction tab. So with Thrive Apprentice, you can create a custom login page and match the style to your brand. Now, if you've already created a page, you can simply start typing the name of the page here and it'll pop up. Since I don't have one yet, I'll go ahead and create one. And now let's edit this page with Thrive Architect. Now the main feature of this page is the login form. If you'd like to choose a different style of form, simply select the form, make sure that login and registration is highlighted in the breadcrumbs, and then click the palette icon. And then you'll see that you have several different forms to choose from. I'll go ahead and choose this one. Now you can also change the look of the entire page by going to the Change Template button on the right-hand side, and then choose Pre-Built Landing Page. And now you can choose a whole new design. From here, you can easily change fonts, images, colors, and more. For example, I'll go ahead and change this image. And then I'll change this blue color to something else. And then I'll change the color of this button. When you're finished making your changes, don't forget to click Save. Next, let's cover restricted content. So we are still in the Login and Access Restriction tab. There's 2 scenarios that you'll have to consider when someone tries to access a course. So you'll have to consider what happens when a guest tries to access a course that is only available to logged in users. You'll also have to consider what happens if a user tries to access a course that they do not have access to. So here in the Settings tab, whatever you set here is a global setting and it will apply to all of your courses. However, you can also set custom settings for individual courses, which I will point out when we start creating an actual course. So let's take a peek at the options you have here. You can display custom content. You can redirect to a login and registration page, which is the page that we set up here. You can also redirect to a custom page. What's nice about the option to redirect to a custom page is that if someone tries to access a premium course, instead of just saying you don't have access to this course, you can redirect them to the start of your sales funnel for this course and hopefully pick up some extra sales. Now, because Thrive Apprentice has its own restriction settings, what this means is that you do not need a membership plugin to restrict access to your course materials. Thrive Apprentice will take care of all of that for you. Next, let's take a peek into the Courses tab. So this is what it will look like when you have a few courses created. And you can simply click on a course to edit the course content. Now, before we create a course, let's quickly go to the course topics. Thrive Apprentice gives you the ability to label each of your courses with a topic, and this makes it easier for people to search if you offer several courses. So you can choose a topic name, a topic color, you can choose a symbol, and if you need to, you can change the color for those symbols. So let's go back to all courses. Let's go ahead and create a new course. Now there's quite a few things to fill out here, so let's start with the course name. And then you can select a course topic, you can select an author, and you can select a level of difficulty. The URL will automatically populate when you click the Save button. And then after clicking Save, you'll be able to change this URL if necessary. Now for the course overview, this is the page that people will see when they first enter a course. So let's go ahead and edit with Thrive Architect. From here, you can edit the content portion of this page. Now the content portion is actually quite small. It's right here where it says post content, but you can add as much or as little as you like. So I'll go to the Add Elements button, and then I'll go ahead and add a video. In the Main Options tab on the left here, you can select your source and then paste in the URL for your video. You can also add in some text. And of course, you can add even more things like images, audio, etc. Now, as for the rest of this page, the header, top section, bottom section, and footer, all of that is accessible from the Templates section. We'll be looking at the template editor in just a few minutes. Continuing on, you can add a course summary and a cover image if you like. For the author settings, you can choose a custom image, and you can add a custom bio just for this course. Let's go ahead and move on to the content section. So here is where you can add the content for your course. I'll click the Add Content button. And in Thrive Architect, you can have lessons, chapters, and modules. In terms of your course structure, you don't have to use chapters or modules, but you must use lessons because your actual teaching content is going to be contained in lessons. Modules have their own page, whereas chapters do not. They're really just there to help you organize the lessons within a module. So let's go ahead and add a module. Let's give this module a name. You can add a module summary if you like. You can allow users to comment on the module, and you can add a cover image. Within this module, you can add a chapter. Now, chapters are just for organization, so there aren't any details associated with chapters. I'll just give this chapter a title. And then let's create a lesson within that chapter. I'll give my lesson a name. Now, when you add a lesson, you'll need to choose what type of lesson it's going to be. Is it going to be a text lesson, audio lesson, or video lesson? The type of lesson you choose will affect the options down at the bottom of this window. So for example, if this is going to be a video lesson, and let's say you're hosting your videos on Vimeo, then here is where you will input the Vimeo URL. And the same thing goes for audio lessons. So if you were to choose an audio lesson, then here is where you can input the SoundCloud URL. So I've gone ahead and added some chapters and lessons, and I wanted to show you just how easy it is to move lessons around. So go to the lesson you want to move, click on the dotted lines, and then simply click and drag it into place. Now, after you add a lesson, you can also add additional content. So let's go to a lesson and then go to edit and then go to add content. So down here in the post content box, here is where you can add supporting text, images, and more. You have several elements at your disposal. You can also add resources to specific lessons by going to edit and add resources. Then I'll click add resource. And then you can link to a URL. You can upload a file such as a PDF, or you can link to a blog post on your own website. Now for modules, remember that modules have their own page. So if you want to edit the content for a module, simply go to add content. And while we are here, in order to publish your course, you'll need to publish your lessons. You'll need to have at least one lesson published in order to publish your course. So to publish a lesson, simply go to Publish. Next, let's move on to the Access Restrictions tab inside one of your courses. So if you want to offer courses for free on your website for anyone to take, simply leave Restrict Access turned off. But if you want to offer free courses to grow your email list, or if you want to sell paid courses, then you'll need to turn Restrict Access on. Now, here is where you can set what happens when someone tries to access this course without being logged in, and what happens when someone tries to access the course without having access, but for this specific course. If you have global settings already in place, what you set for an individual course will supersede the global settings. Under Restriction Label, here is where you can specify a label for the course. And under Products, here is where you can specify access. So if you would like for people to sign up for your email list to get access to a course, one way to do it is to set up access as a WordPress subscriber, and then you'll need to set up an opt-in form separately. Thrive Apprentice also integrates with services such as Thrive Cart and WooCommerce, and we've made integration really easy for you. So for example, with WooCommerce, after installing WooCommerce on your website, you'll need to set up a WooCommerce product, and you'll have some settings in WooCommerce to pay attention to, but as far as Thrive Apprentice, you are good to go, and we've left you a little note here just to remind you that there's nothing else to do in Thrive Apprentice. Now there's one last thing I would like to show you in the Courses tab, and that is course bundles. If you would like to sell bundles of your courses, you can absolutely do that with Thrive Apprentice, and it's super easy to do. So I'll go to Add Bundle, and I'll give my bundle a name. And then all you have to do is add your courses, and then click Save. Next, let's go over the Design tab. So in Thrive Apprentice, you can create multiple skins for your online school. So at the top of this page here, we have our active design. You'll recall that we went through the school wizard and selected our layouts for each type of page. All of that lives in this design here. Now, if you want to start a new design, simply click the Add Design button, give it a name, and then you can go to your new design and click Edit Design, and then you can go through the school wizard and customize the templates for this new design. This is really handy if, say, you want to change the branding for your main website, and then you'll need to change the colors and fonts for your online school to match. When it's time to switch from your old design to your new one, just click the Publish button, and then the new design will take over. So let's explore the current design by going to the Edit Design button. So here is the school wizard. We already did that, so there's no need to go through it again. You can edit the typography by going to the Edit button, and we've made it really easy for you to edit your typography. So let's say you want to edit all of your headings at once. You can simply select the middle green line here, and then change the font and color. You can also select all of the paragraph text and change all of the paragraph text all at once. When you're finished, don't forget to save your work. Now, each design has its own set of templates. So let's click on Manage Templates, and you can see here that you have templates for your default text lessons, your video lessons, your audio lessons, your module pages, your course overview pages. The default school homepage is the courses page, and you also have a template for the default restricted access page. So in the school wizard, we chose some basic layouts for these templates. Here is where you can make additional customizations. There's a few really neat things that I want to show you, so let's start with the default school homepage. Now, if you don't have any courses set up yet, then this page won't have any courses to display. But I've set up a few demo courses just so that we have something to work with. So this is the course list element, and it comes with several different pre-designed templates. So if you don't like the layout of this section, just click on it, make sure that course list is highlighted in the breadcrumbs, then go to the palette icon, and then you can choose a new layout. And you can customize this design by going to the Edit Design button, and you can change fonts, colors, and more. Now, what's important to remember is that things like course titles are dynamic. So when you click on these titles, focus on editing the style, not the content. To show different courses in this list, you will need to exit the design portion of this element, then go to the Filter Courses button. And from here, you can choose specific courses, specific topics, and you can filter by content level, difficulty level, etc. Next, let's take a look at one of the lesson templates. So what you'll need to remember when editing the lesson templates is that the template takes care of the header, top section, bottom section, footer, and sidebar. The actual lesson content, which is here in the middle of the page, is accessed from the Courses tab. So the template and the content fit together a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Because we are currently editing the text lesson template, which will be used for all text lessons, from here we won't be able to edit any lesson content. Now on this template, you can easily customize things like fonts, colors, backgrounds, borders, and spacing. But the other thing you'll need to remember is that many of the elements on this template are dynamic. So for example, the lesson title is a dynamic element because it changes from lesson to lesson. And you'll be able to tell when a text element is dynamic because when you click on it, the stack of coins icon will be blue and it will have a dotted line underneath it. Now let's scroll down to the resources section. So the lesson resources element is completely customizable. So click on lesson resources and make sure that lesson resources is highlighted in the breadcrumbs, and then click on the paint palette icon. And then you can choose a new design for your lesson resources. And then you can make further customizations if necessary. Now, there are some linked sections in your templates. What this means is that some sections, such as the sidebar, are used in more than one template. And so when these sections are linked, an edit made to one sidebar on one template will affect the sidebar on all of the other templates as well. But of course, you can unlink the sidebar section, and then any changes you make to this sidebar will not affect the others. So from here, you can go through the templates for your online school and continue making your customizations. With that, I think you're all set to start exploring on your own. Hopefully you can see just how easy it is to use Thrive Apprentice to create your online courses. Thrive Apprentice is part of Thrive Suite, so be sure to go to thrivethemes.com to purchase Thrive Suite today.